Hey y'all, welcome back to Adventuring with Amanda. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to my channel, welcome. We are camping in Coconino National Forest, which is where we'll be spending a lot of our summer until we head further up north. But the funniest thing happened yesterday, and I want to give a little bit of background. So almost 2 weeks ago when we were here, one night I was just like chilling. It was the evening, probably like 4 p.m., late afternoon, I guess. And I'm sitting and I'm looking out my trunk, right? Because I sit right here and I look out my trunk. And all of a sudden I saw all these people in like old traditional clothing, like carrying these carts. And they just kept coming in droves and droves, like through this forest road. And Maddie and I got out of our vans and we were like, oh my God, what are we witnessing? Like, what are we seeing? Like, it was like 8 people per cart carrying these carts with like a few people in between each cart. And they just kept coming, like hundreds of them. And I had no idea. I'm like, what are we seeing? I thought to myself, this has to be like some sort of like religious or lifestyle group, right? There were so many people. And what I noticed is that all the people who were carrying the carts looked fairly young. Like I was thinking like younger than 20 years old, right? With like the youngest probably 10 years old. And I had no idea. I was like, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? So I went to my Instagram and I posted a story on Instagram and I was like, what am I witnessing? Somebody tell me, like, what am I seeing? And I got a whole bunch of messages that were like, oh my gosh, Amanda, like, what's going on? And then I got like 4 or 5 messages that are like, that is a Mormon trek reenactment. And I was like, what is that? So I Googled it, and I guess it's these reenactments that happen through the Mormon church. This one happens to be a youth group, I found out later, that reenact the trek, I guess, from, I think it's Illinois to Utah back in the 1800s. And I was like, wow, this is so bizarre. Like, I've never witnessed anything like this. And so I just did a little bit more research because I was so fascinated by what I was seeing. And I'm grateful to my Instagram following because they helped me figure it out. And then I did the research and I was like, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, so cool. Now we know, right? So fast forward, I returned to this camp area and then there were signs that say youth church group, like June 6th through 10th. And they had like these signs that said like Iowa Trail and, you know, like for the reenactment. Porta potties were being brought in, huge water tanks. Like, it's a really big production. So after seeing all of them go through, and I don't know where they went, and then 2 weeks later come back and I see them again. And so yesterday morning, Maddie was in town and I saw them all, like hundreds of them again, go by on the main forest road. And so he called me a short time later and was like, oh my God, I'm stuck in the parade. And I was like, oh my God, I guess like they were all in front of him and then it was his van and then they were behind him as well and they wouldn't move over for him. So I got footage of Maddie in his van in the Mormon trek reenactment. And it's very fascinating. I just, very different, not something you often see. So I have some footage of that, and then I will be sharing some life and camp stuff. But gosh, you know, the stuff you see during van life and while you're camping in the forest, it's kind of funny, kind of wacky. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, let me show you the footage and what else is going on at camp. Here is my first sighting of the reenactment crowd today going down the main forest road. There were probably about 200 at a time marching. I think in total there are 500 in this particular group. So it is very, very massive. Okay, so here's the deal. So this has been going on since we were here last week. And Maddie just called me. There's our camper. Maddie just called me to tell me that he's stuck in the middle of the group. And he said that some of them let him pass, but others didn't. So he's like literally in the middle of the parade. So I'm going to see if I can catch him. There he is. He's passing. He's leading the Mormon truck reenactment. Stop it right now. Oh, God. He was leading the way. You guys, stop it. So Maddie got irritated because he was stuck and went around them all, but there's a woman up there, she's like recording it. You can tell it's, you know, modern day, right? Tonight I am cooking a chicken quesadilla for dinner. I have some homemade guacamole that Jordan made. So I'm giving Wynston a little bit of chicken. Of course, we'll be sharing. Very tasty, huh, kid? Life is so good. Wynston and I just ate. I closed my trunk because it's a bit breezy. I'm about to play some of my Nintendo Switch. I'm listening to the Diamondbacks game, drinking a beer. Put my curtain up just because the sun is kind of coming through on my face there. Wynston is eating his bone. Maddie's in his van watching crime shows. Doesn't get much better than this. You have snoozy eyes? Wynston and I went into town today, went to Target, dumped trash, and got water. Very simple, easy town day. I got the jump starter as well from Jesper that I have to show you guys. I'll probably delve into that a little further in the next video, but they sent that to me because they saw that my battery died about a month ago, and even though I have a new battery and I do carry jumper cables, that'll be nice to have, so I will show that to you all. We stocked up on food today. Gosh, it is another beautiful one. It's been fairly breezy, but you know, helps keep it nice and cool. Again, keeps the bugs away. Gives me more to clean, but that's okay. Vacuumed the van this morning, dusted. I had, you know, I have to keep up with the pollen. It's been kind of crazy. Might do a rinse off shower today as well, but we'll see. We're just chilling now. A few of you asked for an update about how I'm liking my new Nintendo Switch Lite, and I'm happy to report that I'm pretty obsessed with it. It is amazing. A charge lasts about 3.5 to 4 hours. This is the charger that it comes with. And you can play offline, so you don't have to have an internet connection to play your games. But the game that I'm playing right now, which is Mario Party, I did a digital download of it when I had Wi-Fi. And when I had Wi-Fi, I made sure that I could play it offline, and I can. So the Nintendo Switch Lite is different from the Nintendo Switch because it's one handheld device, and it is smaller than the Switch. It's super lightweight, and it is made for travel and solo play. But I love it. Highly recommend. In my van life plans video from the other day, where I talk about the rest of my plans for 2023, I had a couple people ask me about the custom high top that I'm considering doing on this van. So my options I've been thinking about are either buying a high top van or buying a custom rooftop extension for my current van, this van, my minivan. So I was first introduced to Fiberine by my friend Yellow Wolf. She has a custom high top on her van, and she's one of my quartzite friends. and she recommended them. So I've been following them on Instagram for a while, and I'm actually in touch with Fiberine because they haven't done a ton of minivans, but they have done them. They've done like a Toyota Sienna, they've done a Honda Odyssey, they have done a Chrysler Town and Country, which is the exact same model of my van, and they have a 16 and a 20-inch extension on the roof. But I would need the 20-inch because I'm so tall. I'm 5'8", so I could not have the 16-inch. The 20-inch gives 5'9" of standing room. So I'm even thinking like if I could maybe get like 22 inches, that'd be cool. I don't really know if it's possible, but the 20-inch would be fine. They can even do like vents and fans in the ceiling. So what's nice about the high top is that not only would it extend my roof so I can stand up in it, but it gives you a storage shelf around the whole inside as well as storage over your passenger and driver's seats. So I would lose the storage of my rooftop box, but I do want to get a swing out cargo rack for my trunk. So that would kind of be what I would do instead. So I could buy like a new Ford Transit. I've been looking at Ford Transits. There's a ton in the valley. It's more reliable than the Dodge ProMaster, although I prefer Dodge. The Transit is more reliable. I've been looking at used options, but when, you know, even with good credit and whatnot, I'm still looking at around $45,000 to $50,000 if that's something I want to do. And I just don't know if that's the smartest thing for me to take on financially. So it's like either buy a $50,000 van just for the fact of that I can stand up in it, or spend $5,000 or, you know, $5,500 on a high top for this van. So I'm at 90,000 miles on this van. At 100,000 miles, I'm going to buy an extended warranty for $2,500 to get me another 100,000 miles on this van. I think ultimately that is the most financially responsible thing to do, but I'm still thinking about it. Either way, I think whatever I have done, I will have done by quartzite season. So, or maybe I'll do nothing at all. Maybe I just will decide not to spend the money and keep doing what I'm doing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe. I have some fun content coming up for you, including random van life tips that I think might be helpful to some of you. And I'm going to be talking about my new jump starter and some other things. So thank you for taking the time to watch, and I will see you next time.